Hello friends, this is Heidi with Kiddos Corral, and I'm going to share a recipe with you on how I make my mozzarella stuffed breadsticks. They are a huge crowd pleaser and my family loves them, and I felt that this recipe was definitely worth sharing with you guys. It is a Friday. It is a pizza day here at the Smith house, and for whatever reason, Friday has become the pizza day. So I just want to quickly show you that I use pizza dough to make these breadsticks. And this is my go-to pizza dough recipe, which belongs to Laura Vitale, is where I got it originally. Now I do think I may have made, it's been a long time since I've read it, I may have made a few little tweaks here and there of different way that I do it. But I start out with 1.5 cups of warm water. And people ask me how warm it should be. From what I understand, it shouldn't be over 115 degrees or it'll kill the yeast. And the way I check the temperature is if I can put my finger in it and it would be the temperature for a baby's bottle, you know, a warm baby bottle, then I feel like it's pretty much the right temperature. So I use the Fleischmann's Active Dry Yeast, and I'm just opening up one package of that, and I'm going to add it to my water. I just pour it right on top, and I set my timer for 5 minutes, and I let that, you know, do its thing and activate, because yeast is the most important thing anytime that you are baking. You want to check your expiration date on it. You want to make sure that you get a good quality yeast, or, you know, it's not going to come out and you're not going to have the results that you want. If you see flashes of light, it's because it is storming outside. If you hear thunder and booming sounds, it is definitely thundering outside, but life goes on indoors. In this bowl here, I have 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm just going to blend all of that together with my whisk, which really kind of acts as a sifter to kind of bring it all together, just to make sure that it's all good and combined. So my yeast is good and ready, and I'm going to go ahead and just scrape in all of my dry ingredients right on top of my wet ingredients. I'm going to get my hand in there and get it all out. There we go. Got all that. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then I'm going to put my dough attachment on, my KitchenAid. Here we go. And I'm going to blend, or knead I should say, until it all comes together. Now if you find that your dough is too runny or too sticky and it doesn't ball together, add a little bit more flour. If it seems that it's too dry, then I always add just a little bit more warm water to it. But nevertheless, it needs to come clean all the way around this bowl, and it needs to ball together into a complete ball. And once I get that to this stage, I will show you what it looks like. Hopefully you guys can see. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to show you. You see how all the sides of my bowl is completely scraped clean? And my dough has kind of adhered itself to my dough hook. That is when you know that your dough, let me pop this up a little bit here. There we go, that's better. That's how you know that you have a good dough. It's still slightly tacky, but that's okay, because you can put a little flour on your hands so that you can handle it, and that's what I'm going to show you now, the next step. Okay, I've got my dough here. I put a little tiny bit of olive oil on my counter so it wouldn't stick. And I just want to bring this dough together. You know, I just want to make sure that it's good and together. And I basically just take the dough and I take it and I pinch it in the back. Take it and pinch it in the back until it all comes together and it makes a good round ball like that, which makes the perfect pizza dough. Then I take my olive oil and I put a little bit of that on my, it's okay that I got so much because I'm actually going to make a second ball for a large pizza to go with what I'm showing you today, but I want to grease up the pan so that my dough doesn't dry out. And I kind of just like rub it into the olive oil a little bit just to kind of coat it. And then I press it down like that. And I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap so that it's thoroughly covered and no air can get to it. And I would do it now, but I need to wash my hands. And I'm going to let this sit until it poofs and makes a big giant ball, and it's ready to make something delicious out of it. I also cover my dough with a clean towel as well as the saran wrap, and I feel like it helps the dough along to rise a little bit more quickly. Okay guys, we're back. My dough has risen just beautifully, and back here I have some unwrapped, this is just string cheese, but it's all mozzarella. And back here in the back, hopefully you can see this with the brush, I have a little bit of olive oil, some fresh garlic, and some Italian seasoning. And I'm going to brush that on the outside of the breadsticks after I get them ready. And I'm using a regular you know, Teflon coated pizza pan, and I find that that works just as good. So the first thing I want to do is kind of get my dough together here, because I'm going to cut it into pieces about that big, I guess. I'm going to flatten it out. What I want to do is I want to wrap this dough around each one of these sticks. Now the trick is to make sure that all of your sides are sealed around these sticks, because you don't want that mozzarella leaking out everywhere, because it'll burn on your pan and it won't be pretty when it gets done. Okay? So you want to make sure your mozzarella stick is good and covered and all good and sealed. And then I place it on the pizza pan. A cheese stick, and I'm just going to wrap it in the mozzarella, just like that. And if you end up with any extra dough, just make a small pizza with it, or just make plain breadsticks. Don't even put the mozzarella in it. And then I place it on the pan. Okay, here we go. We got the sticks all covered in the dough, and I'm just going to gently brush these with the olive oil, because this keeps the dough from drying out, and it adds an additional layer of flavor for the crust that will be formed around your mozzarella stick. So I'm going to get these brushed, and then I'm going to pop these into the oven. And my oven is set on 425, and all of the directions will be down below in the description box. And I will be back to show you what these look like when they come out of the oven. Okay, there are the breadsticks fresh out of the oven, and they smelled my house up so good that my guys are coming out here going, hey, what's cooking? I'm ready to eat, whatever that is. You can see they get nice and brown on the bottom, and I just put them on a plate, and understand they just came out, so I'm going to find a spatula to help me move these so I don't have to burn my fingers off. Remember, they got that mozzarella inside of them. This is a great appetizer. You can make these any size that you like. If these are too big, you can make them for smaller children and make them, you know, make them smaller. Use different cheese. If you don't like, you could sprinkle these with fresh Parmesan along with the olive oil when you bake them. And I just put them on a plate like that. I'll get the camera over here so you guys can see a little bit better. And sorry about reaching in front of the camera, but I've got some homemade marinara here. And I'm just going to add some marinara as a dipping sauce for this. Just like that. And I'm going to serve this to my family and they are going to love it. It is so delicious. I cannot wait to eat this because it smells so good. But I hope y'all enjoyed this Sunday Simple Supper and this recipe. Everything that, you know, all the directions, everything will be down below in the description box. Check that out. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And give me a thumbs up on this video. And I will be talking to you all again soon. God bless. Bye-bye.